Welcome to quicktechie.com, Palo Alto Networks, Network Security Generalist Certification Training. Let's dive into next module.
Real-time network visibility. Okay, let's talk about real-time network visibility in Prisma SD-WAN. Real-time means you are seeing what is happening at this exact moment. Network visibility means you can clearly see and understand what is going on across your entire network. So, real-time network visibility is like having a live camera feed and sensors everywhere in your network, showing you everything that is happening right now. This includes View Live Dashboard. Prisma SD-WAN provides a main screen, like a control panel, where you can see the most important information immediately. On this live dashboard, you can see the current status of each network connection, each path. You can see how well each link is performing right now based on the health checks. The immediate figures for jitter, is the connection smooth, loss, are any data pieces missing, and latency, how fast is data traveling. It's a quick way to see if any path is having trouble right now. Monitor link and device health. Beyond just performance numbers, you can see if a network connection is active, working, or inactive, down. You can also see any alarms or alerts that the system is showing, which point to specific problems. Additionally, you can check the appliance resource usage. This means seeing how busy the actual Prisma SD-WAN box is, like its CPU use or memory. This helps you know if the box itself is overloaded or having issues. Observe active flows. This is like seeing the individual trucks, your application data like a video stream or a file download, moving across the network live. You can see specific application traffic sessions, which application it is, like Microsoft Teams, or web browsing, where it's going, and most importantly, which specific network path the system is currently sending that traffic over. This helps you confirm that your policies are working as expected and see exactly what is happening with important traffic as it happens. Together, these features give you a powerful way to see the current state and performance of your network paths and devices instantly. This real-time view is essential for quickly identifying sudden problems. View Live Dashboard. Okay, let's explain. View Live Dashboard. Imagine you are driving a car. The dashboard in front of you shows you important information like your current speed, how much fuel you have, and if any warning lights are on. In Prisma SD-WAN, the live dashboard is very similar. It is a main screen or page that you look at to see the most important information about your network right now. Live means that the information you see is happening in real time, at this very second. It's not old information, it's current. When you view the live dashboard, you are seeing the immediate status of your network connections, your paths, or links. You can see at a glance if a link is currently active and working, like seeing your speed on the car dashboard, or if it's inactive or having problems, like a warning light coming on. You also see the performance of each connection per link. This means for each individual network connection you have, like your internet line or MPLS line, the dashboard shows you its current quality measurements. Jitter. How stable or smooth the connection is right now. Is it bumpy or smooth? Loss. Are any data pieces getting lost right now as they travel on that link? Latency. How much delay is there right now when data goes across that link? Seeing this information immediately on the live dashboard is very powerful. If a user calls and says, "The internet is slow," or "My call is breaking up," you can look at the live dashboard and quickly see if one of your network links is showing high latency, slow, or high jitter, loss, breaking up calls, right now. This helps you understand the current health of your connections without waiting for reports. It's your immediate view of the network's vital signs. Monitor link and device health. Okay, let's explain. Monitor link and device health. Think of your network like a fleet of delivery trucks, the data, and the trucks themselves, the Prisma SD-WAN devices, driving on different roads, your network links. Monitor link health is like constantly checking if each of your roads is open and usable, or if there's a big problem. Active, inactive state. This tells you if a network connection, a link, or a path, is currently working, active, or up, or if it's completely stopped working, inactive, or down. It's like checking if a road is open or closed. If a link goes down, you see its status change immediately. Alarms. Prisma SD-WAN can raise alarms when something significant goes wrong with a link. This is like a major warning sign on the road, like bridge out or road closed. An alarm is more serious than just a small increase in latency. It often means the link is unusable or has a critical problem detected by the system. Monitoring alarms lets you know when you need to pay urgent attention to a specific connection. Monitor device health is like checking the condition of the trucks themselves, the Prisma SD-WAN appliances at your locations. You check if the device is running correctly. You also check appliance resource usage. Think of this as checking the truck's engine and capacity. Is the truck's engine, CPU, working too hard? Is it running out of space to carry packages, memory? If the device itself is overloaded, it can cause problems for all the traffic going through it, even if the network links are fine. So, monitoring link and device health means looking at the overall status of both your connections and the equipment managing those connections. It's about getting alerts for major problems, alarms, seeing if links are up or down, and ensuring the SD-WAN devices themselves are running smoothly with enough resources. This is different from just checking performance numbers, like latency. It's about the fundamental working state of the network components. Observe active flows. Okay, let's explain. Observe active flows. Imagine your network is like a busy highway with many different cars, data from different applications, traveling at the same time. Each individual car's journey from one point to another is like a flow or a session. For example, when you open a web page, that's one flow. When you start a video call, that's another flow. Active flows are all the journeys, data movements or sessions that are happening right now on your network. Observe means to watch or look at something carefully. So, when you observe active flows in Prisma SD-WAN, you are looking at the specific data movements that are currently happening on your network in real time. What do you see when you observe these active flows? Specific application traffic sessions. You can see details about each individual journey or conversation happening. Prisma SD-WAN is smart enough to identify which application the traffic belongs to. So, you might see that there is an active flow for Microsoft Teams Voice, another for Salesforce, another for HTTP, web browsing, and so on. Each session is a specific instance of an application communicating their current paths. For each active flow, you can see exactly which network connection, which specific link or path, that application's data is using at this moment. For example, you might see that a Microsoft Teams Voice flow is currently using Internet Link 1, while a file transfer flow is using Internet Link 2. This is very useful. If a user complains that their Salesforce application is slow right now, you can go to Observe Active Flows, find their Salesforce traffic session, and see exactly which path it is currently using. Then you can check the real-time health of that specific path on the dashboard to see if it's having performance issues. It helps you trace exactly what is happening with a particular piece of application traffic live. Historical data analysis and reporting. Okay, let's talk about historical data analysis and reporting. While real-time monitoring shows you what's happening in your network right now, historical data is information that Prisma SD-WAN saves about what happened in the network in the past, yesterday, last week, last month, or even longer. Analysis means looking closely at this past data to understand it, and reporting means creating summaries or views of this data. This part helps you understand your network over time and see patterns. Review historical metrics. Prisma SD-WAN records the performance numbers, like latency, jitter, loss, and bandwidth use, for all your network links constantly. Reviewing historical metrics means looking at this saved information. Instead of just seeing that a link has high latency now, you can look back and see if that link always has high latency during certain hours, or if this is a new problem. This helps you analyze past performance trends per link to identify recurring issues. For example, you might look at a graph and see that your internet link's quality gets bad every weekday morning. This tells you it's a regular problem, not just a one-time event. Generate usage reports. You can use the saved historical data to create reports. These reports can show you things like bandwidth usage, how much total data flowed over each link or across the whole network during a specific time. Application traffic. Which applications, like voice, video, or web browsing, used the most data? Link utilization. How busy each network connection was, e.g., was it used at 50% or 95% of its capacity? These reports help you understand how your network is being used, plan for future needs, and see if you are getting value from your connections. Audit Trail and Compliance. Prisma SD-WAN also keeps detailed records, called logs, of important events. This includes logs of configuration changes, who made changes to the network settings and when, and network events, like a link going down or a security threat being detected. Having this audit trail is like having a logbook of everything important that happened. It's crucial for security. If something bad happens, you can see the events leading up to it. And compliance. Many company rules or outside regulations require you to keep records of network activity and changes. In short, historical data analysis and reporting gives you the ability to look back at how your network performed, how it was used, and what events happened, which is essential for understanding long-term performance, planning, and security. Review historical metrics. Okay, let's explain. Review historical metrics. We know that Prisma SD-WAN is constantly monitoring the quality of your network connections using probes, measuring things like latency, jitter, and loss. This information is not just shown to you live, it is also saved by the system. Historical metrics is simply the name for all that saved information about how your network links performed in the past. It's like a record book or a diary of your network's daily life, showing the quality measurements over time. To review historical metrics means to look back at this saved data. You are not looking at what's happening right now, but what happened last hour, yesterday, last week, or last month. You might look at charts or graphs that show how the latency on a specific internet link changed throughout the day, or how often packet loss happened on your MPLS connection last week. The main reason to analyze past performance trends per link is to identify recurring issues. A trend is a pattern over time. A recurring issue is a problem that happens again and again. For example, if you only look at the network right now, a link might look perfectly fine. But when you review the historical metrics, you might see a trend that its latency always jumps very high every Tuesday morning. This identifies a recurring issue that happens predictably. Or you might notice from the historical data that one link's packet loss slowly gets worse over several days before it becomes completely unusable. This trend helps you predict when a problem might become critical. So, reviewing historical metrics is about being a detective using past data to find patterns and problems that you wouldn't see by just looking at the network's live status. It helps you understand why problems happened and anticipate potential issues in the future. Generate usage reports. Okay, let's explain. Generate usage reports. Imagine you are paying for several different internet or network connections, and you want to know how much you are actually using each one, and what kind of traffic is using them. Usage reports are like summaries or statements created from the historical data that Prisma SD-WAN saves. They show you details about how your network connections have been used over a period of time, like a day, a week, or a month. To generate usage reports means to ask the system to create these summaries for you. Prisma SD-WAN looks back at all the data it has recorded about the traffic that has flowed through your network links. These reports can tell you several important things. Bandwidth usage. This shows you the total amount of data that traveled across your network links. For example, a report might tell you that your main internet connection sent and received 500 gigabytes of data last week. This helps you see if you are using most of your connection's capacity or if you have a lot of extra space. Application traffic. These reports can break down the total usage by application. They show you which specific applications use the most bandwidth. For example, a report might show that video conferencing used 40% of your total bandwidth, web browsing used 30%, and file transfers used 20%. This helps you understand what people are doing on your network and if high-priority applications are using the links you expect. Link utilization. This shows how busy each individual network link was. If you have two internet connections, a report can show you if one is constantly being used at 90% of its capacity while the other is only at 20%. This tells you if your traffic is being spread out effectively or if one link is always overloaded. Generating these reports is important for understanding your network costs, planning if you need more or less bandwidth, and seeing if your application policies are sending traffic where you intended. It helps you make smart decisions based on how your network is actually being used over time. Audit Trail and Compliance. Okay, let's explain Audit Trail and Compliance. Imagine your network is a place where many important things happen. Connections are made, data moves, settings are changed, and sometimes, security threats might appear. It's crucial to keep a record of all these significant actions and events. An audit trail is exactly that, a detailed record, like a logbook, of who did what, when they did it, and what happened in the network. Prisma SD-WAN automatically keeps track of important events. This includes logs of configuration changes. Every time someone makes a change to how the Prisma SD-WAN is set up, like changing a policy, adding a network link, or modifying a threshold, the system records it. This log shows who made the change and when. This is important for knowing exactly what was done if a problem appears after a change, or for security if an unauthorized change happens. Network events. The system also records important things that happen in the network itself, like a network link going down, a connection tunnel being created or broken, or specific system messages. These are like entries in the logbook saying, Internet connection 1 went down at 3:05 p.m., or new tunnel created to branch office B. Having this audit trail is vital for security. If there's a security incident, you can look at the logs to see what happened leading up to it, who accessed what, and what the network devices were doing. It's like reviewing security camera footage and door logs after an incident. It's also necessary for compliance. Many companies must follow specific rules or regulations, from governments or industry standards, that require them to keep records of network activity and configuration changes. The audit trail provides the proof you need to show that you are meeting these requirements. So, Audit Trail and Compliance refers to the feature where Prisma SD-WAN automatically records all the important actions and network events, providing a historical logbook that is essential for investigating security issues and meeting regulatory rules. Leveraging logs for troubleshooting. Okay, let's explain. Leveraging logs for troubleshooting. We've talked about monitoring your network to see what's happening now and looking at historical data to find past trends. But sometimes, you need even more detailed information to figure out exactly why a problem happened. This is where logs come in. Logs are like automatic diaries or journals kept by the Prisma SD-WAN device. They record specific events and actions that happen within the system and on the network. Leveraging logs means using these detailed records effectively, and troubleshooting means using them to find and fix problems. Here's how you use logs for troubleshooting. 1. Access system, network logs. These logs record events related to the Prisma SD-WAN device itself and its network connections. You can examine events related to appliance operation, which means seeing if the SD-WAN box had any internal problems or errors. You also see events about tunnels, the secure connections between your sites. Did a tunnel go up or down? And connection states. Did a network link become active or inactive? Looking at these logs can tell you if the SD-WAN device or a main connection method failed. 2. Utilize application security logs. These logs are about the traffic itself and any security actions taken. You can view detailed records of traffic flows, seeing when a specific piece of data, a flow, started, where it came from, where it went, and what application ID Prisma SD-WAN identified it as, like voice or email. You also see policy actions. For that flow, did a security policy allow it, block it, or scan it? These logs are crucial for understanding exactly what happened to specific application traffic. 3. Pinpoint issues. This is where you put it all together. You correlate log, monitoring data. You look at the logs along with the monitoring data, the performance numbers like latency, jitter, loss, and the live, historical status. If a user complains about a slow application, you look at the application logs to see which path that traffic used. Then, you look at the system, network logs and the monitoring data for that specific path at that specific time. Did the logs show that the link went down briefly? Did the monitoring data show a spike in packet loss? By matching the application problem with events and performance data in the logs and monitoring tools, you can diagnose performance or path selection problems and find the exact cause. Using logs is like looking at the detailed footnotes in a book. They provide extra information that helps you understand the main story, the network problem, and figure out how to correct it. Access system, network logs. Okay, let's explain. Access system, network logs. Imagine your Prisma SD-WAN device is like a complex machine or a manager at a location. It needs to keep a diary of everything important that happens with itself and its direct connections to the network. These diaries are called system logs and network logs. To access system, network logs means to look at and read these diaries. What kind of information do these specific logs contain? Examine events related to appliance operation. The appliance is the physical or virtual Prisma SD-WAN device itself. These logs record things that happen inside the device. Did the device start up correctly? Was there an error with its internal software? Did it run out of memory or CPU power at a certain time? This is like the manager writing down notes about how they are feeling or if their computer crashed. If the SD-WAN device itself isn't working right, these logs will often show internal errors or status messages. Examine events related to tunnels. Prisma SD-WAN often creates secure, encrypted connections called tunnels between different locations, like connecting two branch offices. These logs record when these tunnels are created, when they are successfully connected, tunnel up, or when they fail or disconnect, tunnel down. This is like the manager writing down, secure line to office B was established at 9 a.m., or secure line to office C disconnected unexpectedly at 10:15 a.m. Examine events related to connection states. These logs also record important changes in the status of your physical network links. Did your main internet connection go from working, link up, to not working, link down? Did your backup connection become active? This is like the manager noting, primary internet connection lost signal at 11 a.m., or backup cellular connection activated. Accessing and reading these logs is crucial because they provide detailed, time-stamped records of fundamental network events and device health. If an application is failing, checking the system network logs can quickly tell you if the SD-WAN device had an internal issue, if the secure tunnel needed for that application's path went down, or if the physical network link itself failed. They are a primary source of truth for diagnosing infrastructure-level problems. Utilize application security logs. Okay, let's talk about utilize application security logs. We've discussed system network logs, which tell us about the device itself and the basic connection states. Now, application security logs are different diaries kept by Prisma SD-WAN. These logs are about the actual data traffic flowing through the network and any security actions taken on that traffic. To utilize these logs means to use or read them effectively, especially when you are trying to understand what happened with specific data or why something was allowed or blocked. Here's what you can find and use in these logs. View detailed records of traffic flows. Remember, a flow is like a single conversation or journey of data for a specific application. These logs record specific details for each of these flows. You can see things like who started the connection, source IP address, where it was trying to go, destination IP address, what type of basic connection it was, like TCP or UDP, how much data was sent. This gives you a very detailed picture of the communication that happened. View application ID. This is a key piece of information in these logs. Prisma SD-WAN looks deep inside the traffic and identifies which application the flow belongs to, even if it's using standard ports. The log will say, "This flow was identified as Microsoft Teams Voice," or "This flow was identified as Salesforce," or "This was Facebook." Seeing the application ID is very powerful because you manage policies based on applications. View policy actions. If your Prisma SD-WAN is also enforcing security policies, which it is, as an NGFW, these logs record what the security rules did to that specific traffic flow. Did a security policy allow the traffic to pass? Did it block the traffic? Did it perform a security scan on the traffic? Did it detect and prevent a threat? This is like a security guard's logbook saying, "Allowed person X to enter building," or "Blocked person Y from entering building because they didn't have an ID." When you utilize these logs for troubleshooting, you look up specific traffic flows, like the traffic from a user who reported a problem, and see the application ID, where it went, and exactly what security policies did to it. This helps you quickly figure out if an application wasn't recognized correctly, if traffic was blocked unexpectedly by a security rule, or if a threat was detected on that specific connection. They provide the granular detail about your traffic and security enforcement. Pinpoint issues. Okay, let's explain pinpoint issues. Imagine someone is having a problem. Maybe an application is very slow, or a voice call keeps cutting out. You know there is a problem, but you need to find the exact reason why. Pinpoint issues means using all the information you have to find the precise location or cause of that problem. This is where you bring together everything you learned from monitoring, both the live view and the saved historical data, and from looking at the different kinds of logs, the system, network diaries, and the application, security diaries. To correlate log monitoring data means to put different pieces of information together like solving a puzzle. You look at information from the logs at the same time you look at the monitoring data for the same time period when the problem happened. For example, someone complains their video call was bad at 10:30 a.m. You look at the application logs for their video call traffic around 10:30 a.m. The log shows the call was using Internet Link 1. Now, you look at the monitoring data, maybe the historical metrics graph, for Internet Link 1 specifically around 10:30 a.m. Did the graph show a sudden spike in jitter or packet loss on that link at that exact time? Maybe you also check the system, network logs for Internet Link 1 around 10:30 a.m. Did that log show any messages about the link being unstable or briefly disconnecting? By bringing these different pieces of information together, correlating the logs and monitoring data, you can diagnose performance or path selection problems. If the logs show the application should have used a high-quality path, but the monitoring data shows that path was actually performing terribly at the time, this helps you diagnose why the path selection might have been wrong or why the application performed poorly even on its intended path. If the system logs show a tunnel went down just before the application failed, you've pinpointed that as a likely cause. If the application logs show traffic was blocked by a security policy, you know where to investigate. Pinpointing issues is the step where you use the combined power of all your monitoring and logging data to find the specific cause, the root cause, of a problem, so you know exactly what needs to be fixed, whether it's a problem with a network link, a misconfiguration in a policy, a threshold that's too strict, or an issue with the SD-WAN device itself.